this is second series of surface chemistry chapter. Now, in this we are going to talk about colloids. So we have seen in the surface chemistry that we are dealing with the phenomena that are happening on the surface, surfaces. So we have talked about catalysis, we have talked about enzyme. Now we are going to talk about the surface phenomena in terms of colloids. Now, actually, according to solution chapter, we know that there are two types of solution. One is the true solution, and another is the suspension. Now, true solution, for example, if I have taken glass of, this is the beaker that I have taken, and there is water in it. Now in this I have added salt in it and I have stirred it very well. So after stirring this, you can't differentiate where the solute is the salt, and where the solvent, that is water, is there. So this is a homogeneous type of a solution, true solution. From anywhere, if you are going to take out the sample, the composition is going to be same. So such type of a solution is known as your true solution. Then we have also talked about there is another type of a solution, that is suspension. So I have added some dust particles, and I was keeping this beaker for quite a long time. Now you can see that these dust particles, they are getting settled down. So such type of a solution which is not stable. True solution is a stable solution, but this such type of a solution which is not stable, solid is getting settled down and upper you are seeing the liquid is there. So such type of a solution is known as suspension. Now, other than true solution and suspension, there is third type of a solution which are known as the colloidal solutions. Now, this three differentiation is true solution, colloidal solution, suspension. These differentiation is basically depend on the particle size. This depends on the particle size. So colloidal solution, for example, milk is one of the very good examples of colloidal solution. Now this is, I have prepared the starch solution. Now you can see that this solution, this is a colloidal solution, and you cannot see a very clear type of a true solution. This is the particles, they are larger as compared to true solution, but they are not so large that they can get settled down. The particles, they are always suspended in the solution. So this type, you cannot see the light passing through it, and this is a very stable solution in this manner. They are not going to get settled down as we have seen in that case of suspension. So this is our colloidal solution, and we are going to talk about these colloids. Now actually this differentiation is there. This differentiation is basically on the basis of the size of the particle. So colloidal particles or the colloidal solution, they have the size between 1 nanometer to 1000 nanometer. It has a size between 1 nanometer to 1000 nanometer. And the true solutions, they have the size less than 1 nanometer. In suspension, they are having the size more than 1000 nanometer. So initially, we have divided the solution into three types, that is the true solution, colloidal solution, and suspension. Now, what are colloids? What are actually colloids? Colloids, they are heterogeneous solutions. They are heterogeneous solution in which small particles, which we call as dispersed phase, which we are calling as a dispersed phase, and they are suspended in another substance which we call as the dispersion medium. The colloids, they are heterogeneous with dispersed phase that has been suspended in the dispersion medium. Now colloids, they have been further, now why colloids is there, why this chapter, because colloids, they are undergoing absorption phenomena, and they are showing the surface chemistry phenomena. They are basically showing the surface phenomena. So colloids we are studying right now, and they basically, colloids particles, they are so small that they show the enhanced surface activity. And we can classify the colloids into three types. First classification is based on physical state of dispersed phase. DP stands for dispersed phase and dispersion medium. The first classification that is based on the state of dispersed phase and the dispersion medium, physical state. Now, second classification is based on nature of interaction between dispersed phase and dispersion medium. So, second classification will be based on interaction, किस तरह से interaction होता है dispersed phase and dispersion medium के बीच में. And the third classification is on the basis of type of particle of dispersed phase. Dispersed phase के किस तरह के particles हैं उसकी basis पे the third classification is based on. Now right now based on physical state of dispersed phase and dispersion medium, so I have made the different columns over here. This is all about the dispersed phase. I have just told you what are the dispersed phase. Dispersed phase, they are the smaller particles which has been suspended, which are being dispersed in the dispersion medium. So this is for dispersed phase and this is for dispersion medium. And these are for colloids. These are the different names that have been given to colloids, and these are the certain examples. Now, if your dispersed phase is solid and dispersion medium is also solid, so the name of the colloid is considered to be solid salt. This is known as solid salt, where the dispersed phase is also solid and dispersion medium is also solid. Now, examples are colored glasses, gemstone, colored glasses, जिसमें solid phase is dispersed in the solid dispersion medium. Then, based on the physical state of dispersed phase and dispersion medium, these are eight different types of colloids. Now, next is your solid is the dispersed phase and dispersion medium is liquid. So, these kind of colloids, they are considered to be salt. Now, if this dispersion medium is water, then it can be called as aquasol. If this medium is your alcohol, it can be called as alkosol. So, sol means colloids. Sol means colloids. So, it can be aquasol, it can be alkosol. Now, the examples of these type of salts is pain, cell fluid, cell के अंदर जो fluid होता है, this is also a colloidal form. Then another type is dispersion phase is solid and dispersion medium is gas. So such type of colloids, they are known as aerosol. Sol is again colloid. So this is aerosol. Example you can find out in terms of smoke, in terms of dust, smoke, dust. There are all examples of aerosols. Then dispersed phase is liquid, dispersion medium is solid. Such colloids are known as gel. So example is cheese, butter. ये सारे वो एग्जाम्पल है जिसमें कि लिक्विड डिस्पर्स फेज में है एंड हैज बीन डिस्पर्स इन द सॉलिड. देन लिक्विड इन लिक्विड, such type of salts, they are known as emulsion. They are known as emulsion. A very good example is milk. Milk is kind of an emulsion in which the fat particles, protein, they have been dispersed in the liquid form. Now, another is dispersed phase can be liquid, dispersion medium can be gas. So, this type of colloids, they are known as aerosols. The only difference between these two colloids are here the dispersed phase is solid and here the dispersed phase is liquid. Now, this example is fog and mist. They are the example for aerosol in which the dispersed phase is liquid. Then dispersed phase can be gas and dispersion medium is solid. So this type of colloids, they are known as solid foam. The very good example is pumic stone. Pumic stone, you can see there are certain gaps where the air are being filled. So gas and solid, this is known as solid foam. Now last type of this is colloid is gas and liquid. Gas is your dispersed phase and liquid is your dispersion medium. So this type of colloids are known as foam. They are known as foam. Now example, froth, whipped cream, whatever soap solutions are there, all the froth, these are known as your foam colloids. Now, everywhere we have seen the combination of solid, liquid, liquid, solid, but in terms of gas and gas, if we want, either the colloids can be formed with the help of gas and gas, but this type of a colloid cannot be formed because this form will not give you a heterogeneous phase. It is going to give you a homogeneous phase. So gas and gas is not type of a colloid. Then second classification is nature of interaction between dispersed phase and dispersion medium. So on this basis, we can divide colloids into two types. One is your lyophilic salts and another is your lyophobic salts. Now lyophilic salts, they are solvent attractant. They are solvent attractant. And lyophobic salts are solvent repellent. Now, if the solvent that we are using is water, then it is known as hydrophilic or hydrophobic. Okay, so it depends on the solvent that they have been discussed. Now, if we are going to differentiate between lyophilic and lyophobic salts, so the ease of formation, first we are differentiating on the basis of ease of formation. So, lyophilic salts can be prepared by direct mixing the whatever the substance is there, so direct mixing with the dispersion medium, you can form the lyophilic salts. But for lyophobic salt, because they are solvent repellent also solvent eating, so this type of lyophobic salts they can only be prepared by special method. Only by certain special method they are going to be prepared. Then, if we are going to talk about on the basis of stability, so these type of lyophilic salts are quite stable. For example, you take gum and you prepare a solution in water. So this solution is going to be very stable. You can keep it for a longer time. But what about these lyophobic salts? They cannot be easily prepared also, and they are not also stable. They are also not stable. अगर आप इसके अंदर थोड़ा सा small amount of electrolyte you are going to add, they are going to precipitate out, they are going to get coagulated. So precipitate out and coagulated, so the colloidal salt जो है, it is going to be not there. Then the next differentiation between lyophilic and lyophobic salt is on the basis of whether they are reversible or irreversible reactions. So lyophilic salts are reversible, while your lyophobic salts they are irreversible. For example, the gum solution that you are having, you precipitate, you take out, you vaporize the solvent, that is the water. Again, you add, after vaporizing, you can again add the water in the gum and you can stir it. Again, your colloidal solution is prepared. So it is a reversible one. But here, once they are going to get precipitated out or once they are getting coagulated out, they are not again going to give you back the colloidal salts. So lyophobic salts, they are irreversible salts. Then, what about hydration? So they can be easily highly hydrated, but these are not going to be hydrated, not much hydrated. Then, how you are going to, what the type of substance, nature of substance? So lyophilic salts, they are all organic substances. For example, आपका मैंने solution बना के दिखाया, starch, gum, enzyme, ये सब जितने भी हैं, they are all lyophilic salts. And ये lyophobic salts, they are actually inorganic substances. They are inorganic substances which needs a very highly specialized method for their preparation of colloidal salts. They are not stable and they are also irreversible. Then we are going to talk about viscosity. Viscosity is very high in lyophilic salts. They are higher as compared to that of medium. But here the viscosity is same as that of medium. So in case of lyophobic salt, viscosity of salt is the same as that of, almost same as that of medium. Now, in terms of surface tension is quite low over here in case of lyophilic salts, and lyophobic salts the surface tension is same as that of medium. So this was the classification which was based on interaction between dispersed phase and the dispersion medium. Now the third type of classification, this is based on type of particle of dispersed phase. What are different types of particles which are present in the dispersed phase? So on this basis we can divide it into three. One is multimolecular colloids, macromolecular colloids, and the third one is associated colloids. So what are they? Multimolecular, macromolecular and associated. Now multimolecular colloids, what happen when you are dissolving it or on dissolutions, small atoms या molecule, they get aggregated, इकट्ठा हो जाते हैं, they get aggregated and then they achieve the size of the colloidal particles. So they get aggregated and then they achieve the size of a colloidal particle. So such type of colloids is known as multimolecular colloids. What about macromolecular colloids? Macromolecular colloids actually they can be protein, gum or polythene. Protein, gum they are natural. Polythene this is artificial, man-made. So these type of macromolecules when they are getting dissolved in a suitable solvent, they get that colloidal size. They come under 1 nanometer to 1000 nanometer and then they form a macromolecular. Then last is your associated colloids, which is also known as micelles. Now there are certain substances, there are certain molecules which at low concentration, when they are at low concentration, they are acting as a normal strong electrolyte. They are going to work as a normal strong electrolyte. But when these substances they achieve a particular concentration, when they are at a higher concentration, and that particular concentration is known as CNC. So at this concentration, these kind of colloids, they are going to form colloids and they are going to get aggregated. They are also going to get aggregated and then they are going to form micelles. So at low concentration, they are behaving as an electrolyte, but at high concentration, they are going to act as colloids and then they are going to get aggregated and then they are going to form micelles. Then ये जितने भी micelles formations हैं, they require at particular temperature. Above that temperature only, the micelle formation is going to take place, and that temperature is known as Raff temperature. And the concentration that they require for this micelle formation, that is known as CNC. So micelle concentration. So this type of concentration, at this particular concentration, they are going to form the micelles. Now, for example, soap solution are there, they all form micelles. Now, the soap solution, they are having CNC for 10 raised to minus 4 to 10 raised to minus 3 moles per liter. So, on the basis of dispersed particles of the dispersed phase, they can be multimolecular, they can be macromolecular, they can be associated colloids.